This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach, Philip Vigil.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome. ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. It is the Pack Football Show, another victorious Victory Wednesday. I know you guys have Victory Monday and all that stuff, but the Victory Wednesday when it's the Pack Football Show. And Phil Vigil joining us, of course. We have a couple of guests tonight. We've got offense, we've got defense. We got Nigel Mitchell for the offense, and we got Gary Seidenberger on defense. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Excited?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Look at them. They're just brimming with excitement.
Yeah. It's like, oh, God, I got to get through this hour somehow.
Oh, like,
We'll figure out a way. We'll figure out a way.
Yeah, it's like Jim and Joe. We got to do what? You know what? There's going to be food here in a little while. You'll be in all that.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. No, we were
Make it
talking
worthwhile.
before the.
Well, Nigel was here last week getting some grub.
Yeah, get some wings.
There you
Wings.
go.
wings.
Wednesday,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yep.
No, we were
Little deal.
talking.
We got some coming for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Make a habanero, a little hot. I'm a
See?
spicy type of guy. You know what I mean? Like
We've invented he's invented the hot honey.
honey.
Hot honey.
honey.
That's not on the menu.
I got to see that.
They ran out of it last
Oh,
week. That's
Yeah.
how good it is.
All right.
For real?
For
Yeah,
real.
it's good.
I'll be honest with y'all.
But I have to
I'm
laugh
sorry.
because we were talking about before the game, and I said, Nigel, who's your, Gary's wearing a cowboy shirt, so he's already discontinued being cool.
Oh, there's
And
no
so
doubt.
he's
Yeah,
wearing
he
a
and Ben
cowboy
over
shirt. Yeah, so there's that. So I asked Nigel, who's your team? He's from New Jersey, so it could be the Giants, it could be the Jets, it could be the Philly or the Eagles. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Chiefs.
He's a front runner. That's exactly how you know right there. He's a front runner.
I've been that since a youngin'. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Since I was
Okay.
young, yeah.
Well, my sister Susie, she's listening. She's in Chicago, but she lived in Kansas City quite a while, so
They go Chiefs.
she was a big Chiefs fan when she was there. So we'll let you off the hook for that.
Chiefs fans are the worst. I lived in Missouri for 2 years.
That's
and it
right.
was
You were down there.
brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, the Broncos were at that time had Peyton Manning, and so it was good, but because the Chiefs sucked.
Yeah, you always celebrate when you're winning, but that's what I always told people.
we got a
the
dynasty
glory
now.
years of Elway and all that, I said, hey, there's going to come a time
Yeah.
when we're going to suck.
Well, enough of the NFL.
Exactly. But
Pack football.
Pack football is not sucking, and we're doing very good. And another just workmanlike victory. Kind of toy with them for a little bit, let them feel like they're in the game, Phil, and then drop the hammer.
I mean, just again, proud of our team on Saturday, and I thought we put 4 quarters together on Saturday. We knew what they were going to do offensively. It was going to limit our possessions offensively. They're going to hold on to the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to do their triple option attack, and I think offensively we only got 2 possessions in the first quarter, and one we went down and scored, and the second one we went 3 and out, but we were backed up on the 1 yard line because the defense stopped them on 4th down, and that was such a huge stop for us, and we were able to flip the field on punt and did a good job stopping them again. And then that second quarter, it was, a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're playing with your food now.
It was a lot of fun that second
That's what
quarter.
it looked like. You're just toying with them now.
Well, it sounds ludicrous maybe to say that was a turning point in the game when you beat somebody 67-28, but if they score there, you're going to go for 2. They might go up 8-7. Who knows? But then when you're running against that option attack and they're, get things going on you, who knows what happens? So that was a huge stop.
That was huge. It was huge. And I think as equally as big as that was the surprise onside in the second quarter.
Almost lost a kicker over it.
Yeah, he's okay. He got hit. He said, we'll just leave it at that. He got hurt a little bit, and he's all right. So, but that 15-point swing in the second quarter, and then the punt return by Reese, and it was Reese Robinson. I'm sorry, I can't call him by
RR or EB or Phil's got all these. He's got all these nicknames for players, and we're like, who's he talking about?
EP, BT,
Yeah.
Reese, Moolah.
Donnie. He had Donovan English on last week. He kept calling him Donnie, so now he's Donnie. That's all right, though.
Sorry.
But we're getting the
Hey,
lingo
we're letting
now.
you inside.
I know,
You know what I mean?
you know what? And the listeners love it. They feel like they're deep inside that locker room.
If somebody goes up to Reese Robinson and calls him Moolah, it'd probably make his whole day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I asked Josh Atkinson after the game, I said, okay, is he really that fast? He goes, he's a cheat code.
Yeah.
He goes, he's just flat a cheat code. And he goes, if you line them all up, top 5, we used to have our money on you. We still kind of do, I think.
Oh, what speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah, see,
still
look,
number one.
yeah, like so.
I'm still the fastest.
We always, if they would always ask us who's the fastest, we'd say Nigel. But you got some competition now.
Nah, yeah, it is some fast cats out there, but
What's
not
your
like me.
You're still
What's your best 100-meter, Nige?
My best 100 probably like a 10.6.
Oh,
A
No.
10.6?
10.6, yeah. 10.6.
That's slow.
Around there. But that's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of a 200.
Oh.
you got to lean into the curve,
I,
man.
yeah.
You know, Ken was a 10.3 in high
No,
school,
that,
right?
that's great. Yeah, when I heard that was crazy. I was like, I got to see that. I got to see some video evidence on
Nigel
that
likes
one.
to lean into that curve.
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
200.
A little build-up. You know what I mean? I like
He's
the
got that
build-up.
endurance.
Yeah, I like that build-up, yeah.
Well, you mentioned the punt return. Did we have maybe these guys want you know who I'm talking about, which I do a lot, the old school thing. Did we have a Wally Pipp moment there?
I don't know who that is
Okay,
either.
I'll
sorry.
explain. Okay, named
all right.
Wally Pipp
All right. Go ahead.
got hurt, so he doesn't play one day, and Cal Ripken takes his place.
Oh.
No. Lou Gehrig.
Oh, Lou Gehrig. I'm sorry. I was
Oh.
doing Cal Ripken. Well, Lou Gehrig goes on. That's how old Jim is. How dumb I am. And then he sets a record for games played.
Yeah, the
So now
Iron Man.
did Zach, now that he had to sit out a game, and Reese goes in and shines.
Reese did a good job.
So is it Reese's job now?
No, it's it's still Zach's job.
So we didn't have a Wally Pipp moment.
No.
we
All
didn't.
right. I don't know who started at shortstop for the Orioles before
Cal
Ripken.
Ripken?
That'd be a good. Ben, get on that research and development over there. See who started before.
We got our own stat guy in the house.
For Cal Ripken. Might have been Mark Belanger or somebody like that. See that? He knows who that is.
There's a laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know who that
Out of
is.
nowhere.
But the second quarter, as we mentioned, just every facet, it just kind of did something, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you said, well, we need special teams, defense. Everybody contributed.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to see, and we were clicking. Everybody was offense, defense, special teams. Guys were having fun. I think, the thing that I enjoyed the most on Saturday was seeing people's reaction to other people doing well.
Sure.
I mean, just like the genuine joy on the sideline for, Reese's punt return or, Nigel scoring in the end zone, and just some of these guys that don't get always, I don't know, the love, because Zach's returning punts a lot and Reese steps in and does a great job and scores a touchdown. I mean, we were all so fired up for him. Verlis Smith caught a touchdown on Saturday. That was huge.
It was a Verlis Smith
Tommy
show for a little
Carroll
while there.
caught a touchdown on Saturday, which was huge. It was awesome to see guys really rally around, guys that maybe aren't on the spotlight all the time and really genuinely have joy and fun with it. So it was awesome.
Well, one of the things we had the most fun was when Howard had his long run before he scored. He scored on the next play, but we have Herman Hurd in the booth. We have him on the air with us.
Really?
Right when he's making the run. So it's like, man, Herman, you had to love that. He's up there in the window. He's cheering it on. He was
That's awesome.
loving it. And
That's
he
awesome.
thought it was great. He's both him and John Tran, we had them on in the booth. And they were just totally excited about everything. you
Great
guys are
people.
doing.
They're
Yeah.
awesome, and they,
Great people.
when they played here, these are former players who played here back in the day. This was nothing like this. They played at the high school stadium, 600 people. They were good. They were tough. It was a different kind of ball. And these guys, Herman Hurd played for the Chiefs for 8 years, I think.
One of the all-time great
he's,
running backs.
He's
Chiefs
in the
history.
booth with us when Howard goes off. And you go, Herm, do you ever have one of those? He goes, yeah, I had a couple.
Yeah. Well, and Riston in the background saying, well, he has scored.
Yeah,
Howard
he said,
had it took
he
him
said
two,
Herman would have
Howard
scored.
scores on the next play.
But
that was an incredible
Of course, Risto,
run,
I said, well, you were hurt that game. He didn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to give him grief all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
So,
it was a fun game,
yeah.
like you said, to see depth again. And as a coach, you have to appreciate the embarrassment of riches you have at every position, and not just skill. Linemen, both sides of the ball.
4 quarterbacks played.
Yeah, and we had to say that Roman's not very good anymore because he threw an incompletion.
What a loser.
What's
I
up
know.
with that?
We
I
knew he
know.
wasn't
You know
very
what I
good.
mean? Like,
We
knew
knew he wasn't that
What's he
good
doing?
to begin with, and now he's just proven it. He's got to start a new streak. Well, I guess he has started a new streak, but a
the
longer
guy that he
streak.
was throwing to wasn't even open, so that
Right?
he had
That's
Nigel
all right.
wide open
Wide
on the
open,
sideline.
yeah. I thought I was about to be the first one that day.
Do you go back to the huddle like that and really get upset to the court and say, hey,
Nah.
but, receiver's always open, right? Say, hey, look at
That's
me.
funny.
Nah, it takes a lot for me to get mad. I don't really get mad at stuff like that. Mistakes happen. I ain't gonna get mad at no mistake, So.
Well, we mentioned the track bug. Do you still have that bug? Do you still want to get out there and run a little bit, or are you
track?
over it?
Oh no, I'm still waiting. I'm still running track.
Okay,
next
you're gonna
semester,
do it.
So yeah.
Okay.
I
didn't know if they'd banned you from the track,
Yeah,
after the injury or not.
No, not yet. No, they can't.
They
Too quick.
Too quick.
True. Once his eligibility's over, he's out of our control.
You still got it though. You're still.
Oh yeah.
Did you come back stronger? Maybe.
I feel like my leg, my knee definitely did. It was like because they had told me how you doing, Dr. B. But they had told me like after you get the surgery, like your ACL is gonna be even stronger, And like once you start focusing on that leg, then it obviously gets stronger. So I think I definitely did get stronger. It took some time, but I definitely feel like I got stronger.
His legs did not get stronger.
He
doesn't do legs.
No.
His upper body, I'm
passed
surprised how he doesn't tilt. He doesn't fall over.
Like I tell you, I got horse legs. You know what I'm saying? They're not horse legs. They're not the biggest, but they strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legs, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to use
squat.
that. Well,
You
he's
know what I'm saying?
skinny.
You buy that, Gary?
Do what?
You buy that leg day?
I believe in my
Yeah,
legs.
nah,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
be
got
lifting my
pretty good legs though. I
Yeah,
mean,
Gary do got
we
big,
call him
you know,
Quadzilla.
He do got some big
Yeah.
quads.
He'll go into the cap. How many chicken breasts you eat in the cafeteria a day?
You've seen me, Coach. I eat like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Wow.
only.
only.
Yeah.
Only. Well, got to
Gotta get
save
that-
some for the rest.
Got to get that protein.
Well, what are you going to do in track? You got a little discus
You
in
gotta-
you, maybe a little
put some shot
javelin?
put.
No, not anymore. But I did run the hurdles back in the day.
You're a hurdler?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Gary
that had
Flex-
to be a sight to see. Gary Seidenberger flying down the track.
I mean, he's
was
a lot
he
bigger
was-
than you think. He's a lot taller than you
The
think.
crazy thing was he didn't jump. He just ran through the hurdles and
It's overpowered.
won.
You know,
Yeah,
That is true.
That is illegal
is
now.
true.
But yeah, the lead leg is just knocking him down as you go. Our big question to you is, and I had somebody ask me this not this past week, but a couple weeks ago, is, how'd you get out of Texas? How did anybody let you out of Texas?
Well, yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, I was overlooked coming
Good.
out of high school. But yeah, I had an offer from Midwestern State,
Okay.
and then I remember Coach Foskey calling me, offering me on a Sunday, and then a couple weekends later, I came up here. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to go to school up here. My dad told me, like, come on, we'll go up there. We'll see how we like it.
Yeah.
And probably the afternoon of the second day of my visit, after talking to Coach Veal and Coach Foskey for a while, me and my dad went to church. And after church, I told him, I feel right up here. So called Coach Foskey at the airport the next day, told him I was going to commit. And then from there, I've really loved it up here ever since.
That's a pretty amazing because you look at you and Texas players don't usually leave Texas. That's a great get for Coach Foskey.
Oh, it's great. It's great for the pack.
Sure.
And I think the mutual respect is there for him as well. I mean, he's only a sophomore this year and was voted a single digit, which is pretty special. And I think the guys understand the type of player and the type of leader that Gary is and what he brings to our team, and it's been awesome.
Well, when you kill offensive players, you get that single digit.
Yeah.
My favorite Gary Seidenberger story is I was on the plane back from South Dakota last year with your dad after you got
Oh, yeah.
ejected.
Yes, sir.
And
Can
who
we
else
stop
was
doing that, please?
and you
I'm
know
gonna try.
who else was on that plane with us?
The refs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a great, you know what? But I watched your dad and the ref talk about it for about 25 minutes, and I saw like respect, and it was a great conversation, and I wasn't close enough to listen, and I didn't see any punches thrown, so I knew it was good. So I knew we were good.
Yeah. And Jim Brooks wasn't on there to stir it up. Or anything.
No, Jim said, hey, he said you were a punk.
Yeah, what kind of call was that? Well, Nigel, why don't you explain your trip, how you ended up getting to Pueblo, Colorado out of New Jersey? How was that?
Of course, you've been here forever now. So.
Nah, yeah, I'm like a super senior.
Jeez,
But yeah, no, it was a crazy story. Like I was getting recruited heavy for track. I was getting recruited heavy for football too. And I'm gonna be straight up. I wasn't really focused on school. You know what I mean? And and then they told me like all the coaches, like, I have all these coaches coming in talking to me like, yeah, let me see your SAT, let me see your GPA, blah blah. And they tell me like I didn't meet the criteria. And then it's like my senior year, I don't have no offers, I don't have nothing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to do. And then my coach got in contact with coach here before. His name was Coach Fagans. It was a running back coach. 'Cause I came in as a running back.
right.
And he got in contact with my coach, and then I didn't take no visit here. Me, my mom, and my dad, we drove 26 hours, packed up a U-Haul, and just drove here. And
I'm here.
That was the end of it. So it took some getting used to, but after like the first year, I loved it. It was way different at home. I'm starting to like mountains now and stuff. I'm an outdoorsman now. You know what I mean?
Oh, ask him where he's from. Ask him.
I
Ask him
know where he's from.
No, ask him where he's from.
He's talking about Breckenridge.
Oh,
Breckenridge is when I get on my bougie side. I get bougie.
There
you know
you
what I'm
go.
saying? Yeah. So,
What I liked about for the folks listening, Nigel, that was 2019.
yes.
We're talking 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
You get here, and then 1 year you don't get because of COVID,
Yeah.
and then you play, and then you get hurt. And tell everybody how you got hurt.
Well,
This is a word to the wise, people.
yeah. Now I call it the no jumper rule. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
The no jump rule after you score. I scored. I was on cloud 9, and then I jump up one of my teammates, and then he flings me up higher, and I just land awkwardly on my leg, and then boom, blew my ACL, my meniscus, my LCL, and all that other stuff, and that was just
Celebrate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Now we do the Jersey Shuffle.
Yeah, now I dance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we got. The new dance.
I
What are we
dance now.
calling that?
That's the Jersey.
I thought it looked a little Irish to me. There I was.
You
I
can call
was
it a
ready
little bit
hearing bagpipes in the
a little bit of
background.
the Irish jig, but that's the Jersey dance. Call it Jersey. That's it.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
That's it, yeah.
that was cool.
He made me do it
He
today
did
after
it today
practice.
yeah. He did good too. He did good.
that's
I was
People were telling me it
surprised.
was better than Nigel does. So.
I was surprised. He did good.
Wow,
He
what
did
does that
good.
mean?
I mean,
You don't think I'm an athlete
I gotta
or what?
practice now. I gotta practice. No, I was surprised. I didn't think you had the motion in you, but you know what I'm saying. You was getting a little jiggy. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You got a little jig in you. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
That's awesome. All right, we got some highlights this week. Last
Let's
week
go.
we didn't have it. We got highlights this week, so we're gonna no defensive highlights. Sorry.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
come on now.
defense.
Well, I could dig deep and maybe dig something out from. We had one of you. You had on the option play, but I didn't cut that one up.
That's all right.
I wasn't that efficient this week. But we are at ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. The Pack Football Show is brought to you by Rustler Implement. They're your local premier Kubota, Case International Harvester, and New Holland dealer. Please like their Facebook business page for a chance to win one of two $100 gift cards and receive all the updates and promotions they are offering. Same name, same family since 1960. We're at ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. We got a lot of food. Joe will tell you all about it when we get back. We got highlights.
Gone.
If you've got a question for the coach, 719-671-7574, 671-7574, or you can tweet Joe, and we'll get your question on there. We already got 4 of them lined up. We want a few more. ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House Pack Football Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach, Philip Vigil.
And welcome back, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. Let's turn those down while Nigel gets hooked up there. Now we'll get ready to go. No need to hear all that banging around with your microphone and your headset over there, Nigel. But I should have given you proper warning, though. Steel City Solar and Roofing is proud to serve Southern Colorado community. As a locally owned company, they uphold the values that matter to you. We proudly partner at San Isabel Electric, provide the best solutions for all your energy needs alongside solar and roofing. They are now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, offering Tesla Powerwalls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving the community with the best in energy solutions.
Yankees.
Steel City Solar and Roofing. All right.
Yankees.
You guys watching baseball up here? What's going on behind me?
I signaled. I was like, "Hey, are you a Mets fan? You're close to New York." And he's like, "What's the other one?" Oh, the Yankees. The Yankees. I was like, "Oh my god."
Well, Phil told us he doesn't like baseball.
I don't like to watch baseball. I do like playoff baseball.
Yeah, because
Every pitch matters.
Yeah, that's Francisco Lindor. They're down. He hits a grand slam.
That was incredible. It was right here, and of course
about
I
you
didn't
guys?
see it. I was setting up, and Ben rang it out for me. He said, "Lindor home run, grand slam." So
Nice job, Ben.
way it goes.
Ben's a man of many talents.
He is. He'll let you know. But he does ask questions that I think he should know the answers to.
Such as?
Well, he goes, "Who the Cowboys playing?" I go, "You're the Cowboys' #1 fan. What are you asking me for?" Yeah, okay. So he pulled it out of somewhere, eventually. When I said, "No, they play Thursday night against," he goes, No, they don't. I go, "You just said you didn't know." So he did know. It was buried deep within there. I just had to drag it out of him. All right, we got highlights galore coming up. Well, 4. I guess that's more than 0 than we had last week, and I got to figure out where we are.
I'm telling you, 60-plus points a game. Highlights they got to be like spectacular now.
We got to get some highlights on the defensive side. You know what I mean, Gary?
recovered
Did
a
you start
fumble.
making some plays or something?
No, you recovered a fumble.
Well, I only got to play one half.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Coach, I need to pass this on to you from just some guys on the team. They're like, hey, tell Coach we want to play. And these are starters.
Yeah.
Because, of course, I go down on the sidelines at the end of the games and I go, did you even play today? And they just look at me like,
yeah, heck with you. All right, well, let's start things off of our highlight package here. Of course, we had a few team rule violations, so it meant some extra guys got to play in the ball game. And one guy right off the bat took full advantage. Pass left, that's Kroll. Now here's the double pass up the sideline. Man's wide open. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Thunderwolves, Xavier Marshall. And it was the old trick play.
Pull a couple of those out.
You set it up beautifully earlier, though. You ran it, had the formation, then just tried to run it out of there, just with Kroll up the sideline. Then Joe and I are both saying, well, that's going to set up. The double pass is coming at some point.
If we're saying it's a setup play, you know it's a setup.
And you didn't wait very long to go right back to because it was there.
Coach Brown does a good job with those guys, and it was awesome to get Stevie involved. Stevie was actually our offensive player of the game.
I saw that
this week, which he's just an unbelievable human being. I mean, you talk about a guy that just loves the pack, loves his teammates.
Best teammate.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Gotta be.
I mean, his career is taken so many highs and lows for him, and just to kind of tell you the kind of person that Stevie is on Saturday. We go into the fourth quarter, and I said on the set, all right, Stevie's going to run the rest of the game, and we go out for our first series in the fourth quarter, and Logan Brooks out there, and I'm talking to Coach Brown. I'm like, where's Stevie at? Why is Stevie not out in the game? And he's like, Coach, Stevie wanted Logan to go out. He said this is a great opportunity for Logan to get some reps. And that just tells you the kind of person that Stevie is, the kind of teammate that he is. And this is an unbelievable kid. And I'm so thankful he's on this team. So happy that we got to utilize him. And we're going to continue to utilize him. We call it the Scuba package. Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah,
I like that.
There you
and
go.
This Logan kid, not a bad quarterback.
Yeah,
no,
he looked good in his little stint there.
Yeah, I mean, he was a stud at Cherokee Trail, and just behind some really good ones right now.
What are you going to do?
And he's young, and so
they're both old.
Yep.
Well, even Cherokee Trail, he's probably less enrollment. Well, I'm just going to go a little over, but Cherokee Trail, that is a huge school.
It
out
is.
there on
Massive.
the plains.
Yeah, it is. It's not quite as big as Cherry Creek. I think they're still the biggest high school in the state.
But you still have to take toll roads to get to it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how far out there in Aurora it is.
Yep.
Well, speaking of high school football, you pay attention, I'm sure, during the year. Valor Christian got beat by Mountain Vista. You got any guys you look at on those two teams? Or you pay attention at all to stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have
I mean, that was a huge win.
The old adage, recruiting is like shaving. If you don't do it every day, you end up looking like a bum. And so we're constantly evaluating.
I've never heard that one.
You've
but
not
I love
heard that?
I have not.
Yeah.
We had Risto for so many years. Ebbs and flows.
Yeah, all ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it was ebbs and flows.
I'm gonna have to start using that one though. That's
Ebbs
a good
and
one.
flows?
That's a good line. Yeah.
Oh, it's
the ebbs and flows.
He perfected it.
We heard it
Yada,
so often.
yada.
We heard it so often that he was Ebb and I was Flow.
Well, our favorite was Chadron.
Chadron.
It's Chadron, but he called it Chadron.
Yeah, Risto.
Chadron.
He talked like that.
Okay. Coach Riston has some unbelievable antics that have just been fantastic. Like, again, Adams State. We don't like Adams State.
Right.
One practice every year, he's going to be out there in his full getup, sharpening his spear with face paint on, and I mean, it's awesome. The guys love it.
Well, I got a chance to talk to him after that Adams game the next week, and he told me he had a fantastic time. He just loved it.
Oh, he's awesome.
He goes, those guys are totally accepting of it. They don't mind me being around.
I love it.
I'm kind of uneasy what to do, and he said, but they don't care. They welcome me.
I want him around. I told him that. I was like, dude, anytime you want to be around here, you're more than welcome. You built this place. This is yours, So,
all right, our second play we're going to listen to. We kind of previewed a little bit in our first segment. We had Herman Hurd, the great Kansas City Chief, the former USC Indian, back on the '82 team that went into the Hall of Fame, and he was up there in the booth for this big run by Mr. Russell. Here's a handoff off the left side. Russell turns the corner. 50, 45, 40. Cuts back inside. 30, 25, 20. Cuts back inside. Breaks another tackle inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. Right on cue. We get a great run from a Thunderwolves running back. Herman, that had to make you feel like you're right back at home.
That sent shivers down my back. That was a great run.
Howard Russell's, every time he touches the ball is a highlight.
And indeed it is. I mean, he has had so many signature runs in just this season alone.
He is he's a pretty special player. He really is, and his ability to start, stop, his vision, he's been an unbelievable contributor to our pack, not only on the football field but also as a leader on our team. And just really proud of his growth, really proud of the way he attacks practice, and it's showing on Saturdays.
Well, and you talked earlier about guys being happy for guys. He's the happiest for everyone. I mean, he's the first guy out to shake your hand after a fumble or after a touchdown or a great catch. He's the first guy out there, and that's what I love, is that smile. He has more fun on game day. It's probably like that in practice too, but on game day.
Well, he was dancing this morning. Though. I don't remember
now
what
he's got
song it was.
he's got some competition now on the
That's
Dancing
true.
with the Stars segment. All right, with the Irish move there. All right. Or the jersey.
The jersey shuffle.
Jersey shuffle. All right.
Oh, just the jersey. My fault.
Just the jersey. Just call it the jersey. All right. He would score on the next play. So, and they were all kidding him in the booth. Well, Herman Riston said, well, Herman would have scored on that run, but I don't know about that. It was an incredible run to get it down there. All right. So we still had these two guys in the booth. So they're still marveling at the athletic ability of the Thunderbolts. And right on cue, your backup punt returner takes one to the house. Angles it toward the sideline. Robinson's going to get it at the 27. Puts his head down. 30, 35, 40. Up the sideline. Gets a block. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
That is an embarrassment of riches.
An embarrassment of riches indeed. You can hear him clapping in the background. John Trahan loved it. We asked him if they'd ever return punts. Said, yeah, we did. They used to do it a little bit, but Reese, that was
they
an
were good,
incredible
but
run.
they weren't that fast.
Yeah, that was eye-opening how fast
When
he
he
shot down
accelerated.
that sideline.
Oh man, when he accelerated, I was like, holy smokes.
Gone.
He looked fast. He looked very fast. It was awesome to see. That was actually a punt safe look. And so you're worried about the fake. And so you don't really have a return set up on that. We tell our returners all the time, if we're on punt safe, you're on your own. Like, you catch the ball, you're not going to have a lot of blockers in front of you. And
They probably like that, though.
Oh man! But you know what? You go back and watch the tape. Like, we had two guys that pushed their guys into the sideline. We had, Xavier Marshall was in front of him and straining for his teammate. He accelerated right by Xavier and scored it into the end zone. It was, oh man, I was so fired up for him. I mean, this is a guy that, coming out of junior college was pretty highly recruited by a lot of Division II schools and
L.A., right? The L.A. area. Yeah.
Yep. And chose to come here. And last year just wasn't ready yet and redshirted, which is a very hard thing to do, especially if you're coming from a junior college and expecting to be an immediate impact guy. And I'm just proud of his perseverance, proud of how far he's come since last year. And it's been awesome to watch.
Well, you see him make a play like that, and a couple of the plays in the past game, we got to give him the ball somehow. It's kind of like with Nigel. We got to figure out ways to get these guys the ball.
That's you know what, I actually told Coach Atkinson at the beginning of the year, I said, your biggest, the thing that you're going to have to worry about the most, your greatest coaching job this year is going to make sure that everybody in that room is happy and keeping those guys happy, because we have so many guys in that room that can and do deserve the football. It's just hard to keep everyone happy, I mean, there's only one ball, and that's just, I think it goes, it's a credit to these guys as players, but it's also a credit to Coach Atkinson and the culture that he's created in his room, and those guys are bought in for each other. And when they get the opportunity to make a play themselves, they do it, and it's awesome.
What I noticed about Josh Atkinson is when those reserves were in the game, he was coaching them up on the sidelines, moving them around, saying, no, you're off a little bit, you got to move on. And, they knew what to do, but it was the situation that was their first kind of time in that. And he kind of just stepped up, and the receivers all bought into what he, and they were little things. But I love the fact that he was so engaged with those reserves, making sure that they were, because they're pride in their room, they don't want to mess that up.
Oh, yeah. And celebrating, when they do well. It was awesome.
All right. Well, Nigel, you're here. You're a guest. We might as well have a Nigel Mitchell moment on the Pack Football Show. Takes the snap, bobbled it, now regains it. Going for the end zone for Nigel Mitchell. He's got it! Touchdown! What a pass! What a grab by Nigel. He had to be worried about keeping his feet in bounds there in the back of the end zone. He does a little dance.
The jersey. Jim?
Look at Nigel throwing a little Irish move there. Isn't that a little Irish jig there? We were trying to name it on the fly, but now we know
now
it's
we
the
know
jersey.
It's the jersey. So when you score this week, we'll get the
I'll
jersey.
do it again. I'll do it again.
All
I got
right,
you.
All right.
I'll do it again. Yeah.
This just in. I think you might have a chance.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or,
I
we don't
know,
say
Phil.
chance.
I know. Don't get too confident.
We call them opportunities.
Yeah, there we go.
Right? We
That's
call
the
them
word.
opportunities. It'll be a near perfect day for football.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be opportunity. You guys, do you see how we bought into near perfect and opportunity? We're Philizing now, right? Philosophizing.
And we don't have any defensive highlights, so we'll recreate this one. Highlands on the option. Seidenberger from behind tackles him into the turf.
Knocks him dead.
Right. You remember that play? It was on the option, though. Quarterback run around the left side, and you ran him down from behind and just planted him.
And it was really the pack defense all day on the option.
Oh yeah, and that when you don't see it very often, and see that's kind of what we talked about early. You kind of had to see it for a couple of series just to make sure you knew where you were, and then once you did, it was pin your ears back.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think?
Yeah. So like playing triple option football. I hate to say our mentality wasn't to feel them out. Obviously, we took the punch to them immediately, but yeah, you really gotta not necessarily feel them out, but it's different. You don't see it all the time.
Right.
But yeah, after the first couple drives, once you see it, we settled in and we were pretty solid after that.
All right, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. That's our highlight package. If you got a question for either the players or Coach Vigil, if you got a question for Joe,
You do?
tweet him. And then
I thought you had a question.
If you had a question.
Yeah, no.
I'm being facetious. Or 719-671-7574. It is the Pack Football Show right here on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach Philip Vigil.
And welcome back. Pack Football Show here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Let's turn that up a little bit there. All right, Steel City Solar Roofing, proud to serve the Southern Colorado community as a locally owned company. They uphold the values that matter to you. They proudly partner with San Isabel Electric, provide the best solutions for all your energy needs. Alongside Solar and Roofing, they're now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, offering Tesla power walls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving the community with the best in energy needs. A lot of energy here in the building tonight, and, we're Thunderwolves. Bo Brisky.
How about
6
that?
in a row today for the Tigers. The guy's unhittable so far. Former Thunderwolf, pitched here in 2019, I think.
For the Pack, and he's playing for the Tigers, and
pitched
he's
a year.
mowing them down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And he was very good here.
Yeah.
But he got a lot better after he was here.
Exactly. I was talking to Stan Sanchez about it at the Hall of Fame thing on Friday night. And, he's throwing 93, 94 here.
He got a lot better.
Was a starter, and then he went there, and they found another couple, and then he got hurt. Found another 3. He's throwing 100 now.
They all
Crazy.
throw 100.
And suddenly he's going to be worth millions. So.
Yes.
Is he a lefty?
No, he's a righty.
Right-handed.
Hard righty. Hard fastball, changeup. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
They're hoping it's the Bo Brisky Training Center.
Yes, exactly. We got to have the.
They want to get
Bo
him paid
Brisky
so he can
Park.
give back to the Pack.
We tried to name the Thunderbolt Ryan Jensen Family Stadium, but
They said no.
well, we thought
They didn't say
100,000 a
no,
year for
but
10 years.
They didn't say yes.
But nobody approached him. I think with our offer,
Yeah.
we were
Jim and I-
very
we
generous with his money.
You guys, when you listen to your
I think
broadcast,
they,
your
I think they
families
want more
listen
than
to us,
100,000 for that
we
naming rights.
have all the answers.
Well, I said 100,000 a year
Oh,
for
We sit
10
up in
years.
the booth,
Oh, that's-
we have all the answers.
See, we were on
We
$1
know
million.
We can fix
I like
everything.
that.
That's what we wanted from Ryan, but we never did approach him with it, and we don't know
Nah,
if
not
anybody
our
else
style.
did.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, we got questions for you, Phil.
Okay.
People wondering about the quarterback situation. You got this embarrassment of riches at quarterback. You ever feel like going the old Dallas Cowboy route way back in the 70s where you had Craig Morton and Roger Staubach? You just run them in, you alternate series?
We actually, this last game, we threw Roman in on the third series. We're going to continue to do that, every game from here on out, and give him some series in the first half, and really, you play the hot hand. Whoever's doing a good job, you stay with them. And Devin's done a great job, obviously, and Roman's done a great job when he's got his opportunities, and so it is a good problem to have.
All right.
We're just gonna keep rolling.
But it's one of those. I kind of posed that to Braley a little bit. I said, Braley Brown, the offensive coordinator, got to tell him what we're talking about. How do you sit a guy that's leading the nation in passing? That's the mentality. I mean, you're offensively, CSU Pueblo is up there offensively in almost every offensive category, including total offense. About 30th or so, 28th or so in total defense. So, you got a top 20 team total overall, but you got some of the nation's leaders in positions. And it's like, obviously, this isn't a stat-driven team because it doesn't matter as long as they're getting the job done.
Yeah, it's about the pack, and that's, Devin understands that. And he understands that, he's one play away at all times. You never know when that last snap is going to happen. And unfortunately, we've had some injuries and guys have had to step up and be ready to rock and roll. And ultimately, it's my job as a head coach to make sure that we're in a position that when that does happen, if that does happen, that we're ready at the next man, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, and Jim, back me up on this. That has been the mentality of this program. It's this for a while. It's not been a stat-driven. Mines wants 5,000 yards of offense every game. It was just score one more point than the other team. The defense used to say, play well you wanted between the 20s, but we're going to shut you out after that. And so it was never a numbers. This program has never been really a numbers program. Right. They put up some numbers.
Well, you say that, and you walk into the pack house, and on the right, there's about 10 different plaques that were nation leaders. And,
yes. I mean, they'll take them, of course. They're not giving them back, but that wasn't the goal.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, then I hope that answers it for our listener. I'm sure the temptation's there. You got this guy, and he's awesome, and Fuller, so you're just going to sprinkle him out there a little bit more early on when the game's
that's what we've done the last two games.
I think it works.
And it gives Devin an opportunity to see it from the sideline and hear it on the headsets and be able to sometimes that's important, and so, again, we're not going to make any wholesale change or anything like that. We're going to continue doing what we've been doing all year long and let these guys continue to go out there and put the pack in great positions to score points and win football games.
Well, and plus, sure, now when you bring Kroll in the game, you got him wind up wide to left. Oh, God, here comes that play. All of a sudden you look over to the right, you got Toscas or somebody open on the right side, and Roman can get it there. I'm sure that's the kind of things you have other than that play. You work off that, right?
Oh, I mean, you just, again, you try to give guys roles and you try to allow people to contribute. If everyone feels like they have a job and they have an opportunity to contribute in a role, everyone's bought in. It makes it more fun.
Okay, we got another listener's worried about the defense.
Ooh, Gary, this one's for you.
They're worried about the mentality of the defense when you're subbing in and out all the time, and they see some of the frustration in some of your players when they get taken out of the ball game.
Is that from Cody Ramey?
Yeah, I guess that's what CR is. No, but Cody wants to be in there, but I think some of the fans know that too. But I think that's a good thing when you got all that depth. You're running guys in and out of there, and
Yeah, we're matching personnel, and realistically for us on the defensive side, every time an offensive sub is made, we're subbing on defense. And we, again, have done a great job in recruiting and developing and building depth at almost every single position. And so when they sub, it's an opportunity for us to get fresh legs in. And again, it's something that we've had to coach up our players on. Like, listen, we know you want to play 80 snaps, but if you play 11 games and 80 snaps a game, you're not going to play
your best,
or you're going to be hurt,
right?
And so for us to be able to sub guys in and out and keep guys fresh for the fourth quarter or for the second half of the season, it's huge. It's huge for us.
And get some of these young guys experience in quality situations, in key situations.
100%.
I mean, Jim and I think we might be founding members of the Jazz Appleton fan club.
Yeah.
He just eats people alive. I mean, this guy he's kind of stepped into this.
Oh man, that fourth down stop.
Oh
was
my gosh,
completely him. Gary had us misaligned, and we weren't lined up correctly, and Josiah just beat his guy, and really made an unbelievable individual play on that fourth down. Very reminiscent of last year against Mines.
Yes.
He was the same guy that did that on the fourth down against Mines last year. And again, I think that's we've done a good job, guys buying into their role on the defensive side, understanding when it's 10 personnel and we go Coug, this is the group that goes in. When it's 12 personnel and we're going even on the defensive side, this is the group that's going in. They know their job, they know their role, they know what they have to do, and they get after it. And so it's, it's awesome to be able to keep guys healthy, keep guys fresh, and still be able to put a unbelievable quality on the field. Our defense has been phenomenal all year long.
Well, and if you play your cards right, it's not 11 games; it's 14.
Yeah,
100%.
That's what you want.
Kind of along those lines, got another listener wants to know, congratulating on your scheduling, by the way. Get the top half early. Now you got this kind of little area here where you can get right, and you got the big 3 games at the end. But I'm sure you want none of that. You say, I got 2 big games coming. I got a big game this week.
The only game that matters is this weekend.
But the listener wants to know, do you go into it with a game plan? Well, we're counting on ourselves being really good. We're going to get a lot of people in, or you just adjust on the fly to who's going to get in the ball game. Like, you don't go in with a game plan. Well, we know we're going to be ahead by 30 at this point. We're going to start getting guys in.
No,
the game dictates who's going to play.
100%. Again, you want to put your team in a position to be successful. When you're at home, it's different because you have a lot of people that dress out for games that when you're on the road,
What's the RMAC on the road now?
65.
65.
Yep.
Remember when it used to be 54,
Yeah, they got it down to 50, something like that.
Well, playoffs is 58.
Yeah, I mean, that's take 6 guys, 8 guys off your team right now when you travel.
Sure is. Exactly right. And so, you go into a game and you try to execute the best you possibly can. And when you get into a position where, you feel like you can play some guys and get them some experience, you do so. Because, again, that's the same thing I told our staff. It's not about stats. We could have, no disrespect to anybody else, but we could keep our starters in the whole game. And what does that do?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Like these guys that are getting in the third and fourth quarter in some of these games work their tail off just as much as Gary and Nigel do. And if we can honor them and put them in the game and do some things like that, we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to honor that. And so that's our mentality when we go into games is we need to take care of business and we need to execute at a high level and play to our standard and play for each other. And if we do those things and we have the opportunity to play some other guys, then we're going to do that.
Let me ask the players a little bit. I know that every week you do scout team players of the week. How important are those scout team players for you guys to get right?
They're extremely important. I mean, especially last week, like we said, talking
about move that mic up a little bit there.
Like we said, playing the triple option, you don't see that all the time. So our only look seeing it before the game was that week with the scout team, and we try to encourage those guys to give us their best look, and they do. And it's awesome to see them get in the game and perform, and then especially seeing a guy from our position group who we get to know and love as the season goes on. Seeing them get recognized as Scout Player of the Week, like we had a freshman linebacker get Special Teams Player of the Week, and we think that's awesome because we see him working and he finally gets recognized for it.
That's great. What about you, Nigel?
Well, Coach Veal, he harps on like a role, like no role is bigger than the other role, and I feel like they're getting better and also making us better. They're going against the best every day, and then they're developing and getting in that work, and we're going against them, getting us ready for the games. You know what I mean? So there's no better look than us because I feel like we're the best in the nation, and I feel like them going against us is going to prepare them for when they get older and when it's their time to be on the field. So
how competitive are you guys when it's good on good?
Oh, when it's good on good, it's like it's live. It's like it's live, but we go third period, we can't. There's no tackling and stuff like
Nigel, he's still, he's a little fragile.
Oh no,
he's
fragile
not.
And delicate, as my wife would say. Not fragile and delicate.
No, Nigel's tough.
All right.
Awesome.
There's one other. Your impressions of the big upset in the conference, Mesa beating Mines.
Great.
Okay.
Don't matter.
I knew that was going to be the answer. I tried. So he's going to be like a 2 or 3 word answer, but I said
one word.
Yeah, it was one.
It was one.
One more.
Again, it's
one less than I thought.
It's.
I thought it was going to be a big deal.
The only thing that matters for us is this weekend,
right?
And really, that's even too far of it. What really matters for us is those guys that are in study hall right now. across the way.
Right.
And then tomorrow morning at practice. That's what matters.
All right. You passed with flying colors. The perfect answer. All right. Russ Lerman, your local Premier Kubota Case International Harvester New Holland dealer. Please like their Facebook business page for a chance to win one of 2 $100 gift cards and receive all the updates and promotions they are offering. Same name, same family since 1960. Proud sponsor of the Pack Football Show. We'll come back. We'll talk about this week's opponent, Fort Lewis, when we come back. Pack Football Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach, Philip Veal.
And welcome back. ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House, final segment of the Pack Football Show, brought to you by Steel City Solar and Roofing. Proud to serve Southern Colorado community as a locally owned company that uphold the values that matter to you. Proudly partner with San Isabel Electric to provide the best solutions for all your energy needs. Alongside Solar and Roofing, they're now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, offering Tesla power walls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving the community of Pueblo with the best in energy solutions. All right, ball game this week. The site of many nightmares for CSU Pueblo football historians. Gone in there. The national championship year, Phil, they went in there and lost.
Oh, I know.
A couple years later,
2017.
lost. So I'm sure you're able to tell your players that, say, hey, don't feel all high and mighty about going into Fort Lewis. They can rise up down there. It's kind of a difficult place to play. Natural turf, grass a little slower. You're up the mountains a little bit higher. They've got that history. So what are your guys' thoughts going in there?
Yeah, well, I remember last year Coach Vigil told us that about the 2014 team losing, and the first thing I mentioned him in our leadership council meeting on Monday was to please remind the team of that. And I think that's important. Like we talk about, like Coach Vigil was talking about earlier, it's about the pack. It's about being the best at getting better every day. And it doesn't matter who we're playing, who's trying to get in our way of our goal. We're going to treat it the same way. And that's what we're going to go and do on Saturday. We're going to treat it like it's our Super Bowl, really.
Now, Nigel, you didn't get a play last year. He had to be killing you when you're watching 85 points go up on the board. Man, I could have had a 1 or 2 in that game.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was playing. But, yeah, like Gary I said, like just a faceless opponent, no matter who we playing, like Coach Veal says, the only thing that matters is the pack. And the only thing that could beat us is us, and he really harps on that. And I really do believe that. So we don't go in talking about who we're going to play. We prepare the same way for any other team that we're going to play throughout the season. So it's a faceless opponent.
Well, Phil, they got off the schneid. They finally broke that 40-game losing streak. They've been close a couple times before this year. They finally knocked off Arizona Christian. I mean, they wanted to tear the goalpost down after winning that game, but it was a hard-earned win. But they've been close in a couple other games here of late. Seems like they're starting to find their bearings offensively a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Cox has done a good job. Last year I think they had 70 new players, and this year they're much better than they were last year. You look at just from a statistical standpoint, they're giving up 20 less points per game this year, and they haven't had like a really easy RMAC schedule so far. And so it's not like it's inflated. They've done a good job. Their quarterback is a really good football player. He's a dual threat guy. Really their run game and their throwing game goes off of him. He does a really good job of making plays when things break down. They're going to be really sound defensively. They've got a new assistant. I don't know if you guys know the name Rocky Long.
Sure.
Yeah, he's an assistant.
Mexico.
Yeah, he's one of the great defensive minds in football, and they're doing a really good job with their scheme. Their players have gotten a lot better. And again, we understand the history of this place, but we also understand for us that we have to control what we can control, which is ourselves and getting better at practice and being the best team that we can on Saturday.
What I notice is, Johnny Cox, he is Fort Lewis football.
Yeah.
So he's got that buy-in already, and he wants to see that program. He's pouring himself, and he's been head coach. He's been the interim coach there. He's stepped in when they didn't have any, and now he's getting his guys, or at least trying to get that program back to competitive football. And it's trending the right way.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know who recruited him to Fort Lewis, don't you?
Gary Barnett and John Riston.
Coach Riston.
Yeah.
Coach Riston was the guy that recruited him to Fort Lewis. And, again, I have a lot of respect for Coach Cox and what he's building, and he's doing it the right way. He really is, you know.
Yeah, I think what you look at is maybe a couple years ago, I'm wondering, man, are they going to disband this program? I mean, what's going to happen there? But they put a new video board in. They're trying to make the field a little bit better. They've moved the game back to 2 so they can get
Some
more
tailgating,
get more people, revved up for the ball game. So that alone tells you those little things might lead to bigger things down the line. You just don't want to see that happen this weekend, of course. But as far as their program goes, like you said, trending the right way.
It is. It absolutely is. And our guys understand that, in football, and really in any sport, and any given day, if you don't show up, you're risking loss. We saw that several times this year in the Division I level.
Right.
Where
Last
teams,
week, Alabama.
where teams that are supposedly the favorites go into a game and they come out losers, and again, especially in college football where momentum is so big. If you have momentum, it's so huge, and we have to come in prepared, and we will be.
Yeah, I don't think it's a stretch to say Vanderbilt beating Alabama would be like Fort Lewis beating the top dog Thunderwolves right now. Stuff like that can happen. Is what you got to stress to your ball club.
It absolutely can.
Commodores weren't that good since Lionel Richie was the lead singer.
Diego Pavia,
How about that quarterback?
New Mexico kid.
Yeah, how about that kid?
I'm probably throwing myself on blast as a talent evaluator, but he was coming out of New Mexico military, played for Kurt, who was the head coach now at New Mexico Highlands, won a national championship there, and I didn't offer him at Western New Mexico. I had Devin Larson at that time, and I was like, I think we'll be all right. Then he goes to New Mexico, kills it. Now he's killing it at Vandy, and I guess
and he's
not a very good talent evaluator on my end.
No, he's had the week of talk shows, and everybody's he's the flavor of the week this week. And that's why I love college
football.
He's
done a great job.
Yeah.
He's a winner, man.
Yep. Well, we got about a minute to go. What do they do, both offensively and defensively, in a little snapshot that could cause you problems?
Yeah, I think, I already mentioned their quarterback. He's a good player. He's from Houston. Reminds me a lot in his movement skills of Cam Ward, from Miami.
Sure.
Can throw, can run, is very poised in the pocket. He can create issues for us defensively and offensively. They've done a good job of disguising in the back end. Understanding that they're going to bring pressure, and where they bring pressure from, they do a good job disguising that. And so for us, we have to have great box communication. We've got to make sure that we're clean up front to be able to counter what they're going to be doing in the box.
All right. We'll have the ball game for you on Saturday. Remember, it's a 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock kickoff from Durango. Joe and I will be there. Ben will be there. Ben Greenberg helping us out here. We'll drive over on Friday night, figure out something to do.
Jim, I have to. I would be remiss if I did not wish my mom a very happy birthday. Her birthday was yesterday.
Nice.
Yep, she's here today.
Yeah, awesome.
And,
we'll have to go meet her.
She's in her prime. I think she turned 30 this year. So
well, nice. My mom always said you at 32 you're 0. So then you do your age in Celsius.
Okay.
So when you get into your 70s, you're only like 18, 19 years old.
Smart.
So my mom lived her life, lived to be 98.
That's awesome.
That's the way it goes. So just go to the Celsius route there.
Love you, Mom.
All right. 2 o'clock kickoff, 1:30 pregame right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Special people to thank, of course, our sponsors, Rustler Implement, and, of course, Steel City Solar. Everybody here at ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House, Ryan Howard and company. Aaron Kinnischzke has been our producer and engineer. We mentioned Ben Greenberg, our guest tonight as well, Gary Seidenberger. And one, Nigel Mitchell, the dancer. We want to see another dance this week. My partner is the Hall of Famer, Joe Cervi. I'm Jim Brooks for Phil Vigil. Good night, everybody.